Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Recovery Classroom. My name is Drew, and I'm a recovering alcoholic. And today I could not be any more grateful. If you are local to the Huntington, West Virginia area, even within driving distance, say an hour or two, I encourage you to come down and hang out with a group of like-minded drunks and drug addicts at our Crosstalk Tuesday. If you've heard about the Crosstalk meetings, they are always a lot of fun. Come on down. If you've never been to one, I'm pretty sure that you're going to walk away going, damn, that was unlike any meeting I've ever been to. It's always a lot of fun. 5747 East Pea Ridge Road, Huntington, West Virginia. It's at Pea Ridge United Methodist Church tonight at 7 o'clock for our Crosstalk Tuesday. Come on down, hang out with us. I want to talk today about how soon we forget things. They say in the rooms of Alcoholics Anonymous anyway that we have quick forgetters. And that's true. That's so true. And I want to talk about the big book. I mentioned on my last monologue that we're probably going to start a big book study. By the way, if you're interested in joining that big book study via Zoom, you can private message the Recovery Classroom Facebook group page and just drop in your email address, and that way, once we get it all set up, we'll let you know. But I want to talk from the big book today. Again, not trying to push any one pathway on you. I can't speak to the basic text or any other program because I haven't worked those other programs. I've only worked AA, and that was the only program that worked for me. And the big book for me is really important because that's what allowed me to learn about the steps and the original intent of those steps and how to work and apply them in my life. So that's why I'm reading from the big book. I'm not trying to push you one way. Hopefully you can take what I'm reading and take what I'm sharing and apply it effectively in your own life, in your own pathway towards recovery. On page 24 of the big book, Bill Wilson writes, "For reasons yet obscure, the alcoholic has lost the power of choice in drink." And that jumped out at me the first time I read that because I was like, what's he talking about? I could pick from Crown Royal to Wild Turkey to Early Times to, whatever, Jameson. I can easily choose which drink I want. That's not what he's talking about, of course. Thank God it's not what he's talking about. What he was talking about was he was saying that I had lost the power of choice, not in brand, but I lost the power of choice in not having to take a drink. In other words, whenever I would think about it, I'd immediately have to have it. And what he's referring to here is that obsession of the mind. I couldn't think about it without having to have it. See, the normal, average, moderate, temperate drinker could think about it and go, yeah, not today, not right now, I'm busy, I got other things to do. Not me, though. The second it popped in my head, man, I was gone. He was talking about, I lost the power of choice, of being able to decide whether I wanted to take a drink or not. I didn't have that choice. I had to have the drink once I started thinking about it. And it didn't matter all the shame, guilt, and remorse that I might have felt up to that point. Matter of fact, he even goes on to say, he says, we are unable, this is on page 24, we are unable to bring into consciousness with sufficient force the memory of suffering and humiliation of even a week or a month ago. What he's saying is you woke up one morning and maybe you drank too much the night before. Maybe you used too much the night before. And you woke up and you were like, oh shit, I humiliated my family. I embarrassed the shit out of myself. That shit's all over social media now. I'm never going to be able to live that down. All this guilt, shame, and remorse you felt when you first woke up in the morning. And you said, you know what, I'm never going to do that again. And at the time that we say that, at the time that we make that vow, we 1000% mean every single word behind every single breath of that vow. Only to be just a few hours later, we're back on the corner looking for another fix. I'm back in the liquor store looking for another drink. At the time I made the vow and I woke up, man, I did feel guilt, shame, remorse. I felt all that. I couldn't believe I treated my kids like that. I couldn't believe I acted like that in front of my family. I couldn't believe it. I just can't drink that much anymore. I'll never go drink again. Only by 3 o'clock, I'm back in the liquor store, get me another bottle. And that's what Bill's referring to. It's like I had that guilt, shame, and remorse, but somewhere between 8 a.m. in the morning and 3 o'clock in the afternoon when I'm back in the liquor store, that shit went away. Because I'd lost the power of choice, because that mental obsession that Dr. Silkworth talks about took over and just kept getting stronger and stronger and stronger. And the second I started thinking about it, the second I realized, oh, I need that drink. I no longer have a choice. The last line of that paragraph, Bill says, we are without defense against the first drink. So again, we get that in our mind. It doesn't matter how much shame, guilt, and remorse we may be feeling in the morning. Once we start thinking about it, we no longer have a defense. We can no longer say no. We have lost the power of choice in our drink. There's a psychological term out there. It's called FAB. It's referred to as FAB, Fated Affect Bias. And it deals specifically with relationships, but I think it also applies here too. See, our brain has this incredible ability to suppress all the bad shit, to want to forget all the negative shit that has happened to us or that we have done. And it almost in turn, as it's trying to suppress all this bad shit, it's almost highlighting all the fun shit, all the good times, glorifying all the fun stuff that happened during that same time period. It's like our brain's way of trying to make sense and rationalize everything. So when y'all woke up at 8 o'clock in the morning and I felt guilt, shame, and remorse for the way I treated my family or the way I embarrassed my wife and my loved ones, for the way I embarrassed myself, when I felt that guilt, shame, and remorse at 8 o'clock in the morning, by 3 o'clock in the afternoon, my brain had suppressed all that. And matter of fact, my brain, in an effort to suppress all the bad stuff, my brain would start recalling some of the fun times from last night or from last week. See, my brain suppressed all that shit from last week or last month, all the bad shit, and it started trying to recall to memory, to consciousness, all the fun times. And so that adds to that mental obsession in my mind. The second I start thinking about it, no matter how remorseful I may be at 8 o'clock in the morning, the second I start thinking about it, the second I start having to have it, and that's all I can think about. And I start positioning everything in my life in that day to make sure I get to my next drink. I believe that when folks wake up and they are remorseful and they make that claim, I'm never going to drink again, I'm never going to drug again, I believe 100% that we mean it, because I know I did. At the time I made that vow, I meant it, every single last word. But I also know now what my brain was trying to do, what my addiction was trying to do. It was trying to suppress all that negative shit and glorify the fun shit. Oh, you remember how much fun that was? No, I fucking don't. You know why? Because I can't remember anything fun for the last, I'd say, 2 years of my drinking career. I couldn't tell you a single thing that I can recall that was fun. Doug B, he's a guy that I absolutely love. Look up to him in the rooms. He has such great wisdom. He always says, "I drank the fun out of drinking," and man, that's exactly what happened to me. It stopped being fun. It started being every day of being shameful, remorseful, regretful, feeling guilty. I drank the fun out of drinking. I can't tell you over the last probably 2 years of my drinking career, I can't set and pinpoint a single thing that I can remember being fun. But yet, like I said, at the same time, once we start thinking about it, our brain starts working overdrive, our addiction starts working overdrive to recall those fun times, to justify why you have to take that drink. At the end of the day, that guilt, shame, remorse that you may feel when you wake up, or last time you woke up from a debacle like that, you need to harness that. And I talked the other day in the monologue about comparing. If you're going to compare anything, compare the way that you want to feel against the way you felt that morning. Don't forget that guilt, shame, and remorse. And then use that to make sure you remind yourself, hey, this is what I don't want to go back to. Day in and day out. I'm 1,029 days of continuous sobriety today. You know what? This morning I woke up and I still reminded myself of what it felt like on July the 6th, 2021, my first day of sobriety. I've still reminded myself of how bad I felt that morning. I want to encourage you today, use those feelings of guilt, shame, and remorse to drive you, to propel you forward in your journey for sobriety. So with that being said, I'll let you guys go. I hope you guys have an absolutely kick-ass day. Thank you guys for letting me come in and share 5 to 10 minutes of your day with you. You guys absolutely keep me sober, and I could not be any more appreciative. Remember, Crosstalk meeting, if you're local to Huntington, West Virginia area, Crosstalk Tuesday tonight at 5747 East Pea Ridge Road in Huntington at 7 o'clock. Come on down and hang out with us. We'll see you guys then. Remember, guys, you can't get drunk if you don't take that first drink.